let's move into the NFL. We got a game on Thursday, but before I talk about that one, I want to talk about a five-leg money line parlay that I'm doing. It's a lot of legs, but they're all very heavy favorites. It's the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Cowboys, the Rams, and the Cardinals. And I like them all individually, but I didn't like the spreads, and I think that they're all going to have a pretty easy time. I mean, you got the Chiefs. They're playing against the Raiders. They're 13-point favorites. Considering Stephen Gilmore tested positive for coronavirus, they played the Chiefs on Monday. There could still be some positive tests that come out from that. That has me a little apprehensive of the spread. However, I think the Chiefs are still the better team here. The Ravens, they are playing against the Ravens are playing against the Bengals. They're 12-point favorites. I don't really like that with Burrow, but they should be fine. The Cowboys, 9.5-point favorites against the Giants. That kind of worries me as a Giants fan, but I think the Cowboys are going to win because the Giants are just awful this year. The Rams, 7-point favorites against the Washington football team. I think that should be no problem for them. And then the Cardinals, 7-point favorites against the Jets. I think same thing shouldn't be a problem for them. So plus 146 for five heavy favorites. I'll take it.
Yeah. Best of luck to you, Higgins. I hope your Cardinals lose. I'm sure you hope your Cowboys lose. But I was actually funny enough thinking about just taking the three biggest underdogs just on their own and being like, well, if I took all three of these and one of them hits, I'm plus money no matter what. And if two of them hit, wow, I'm looking really good. But I think you're probably playing it a little bit more of the safe way where, yeah, the Cowboys probably shouldn't be losing to the New York Giants and the Arizona
Especially at home.
Cardinals. Yeah. And the Arizona Cardinals, boy, if you lose to the Jets, you've got some big issues.
I'm also on the Thursday night game, though. That's going to be individually. Tampa Bay travels to Chicago. It's two teams that are 3-1. Both of them are also 2-2 against the spread. The Bucks are 3.5-point favorites, and I'm taking it. I like it. I think Tom Brady holds a bit of a grudge. He's facing off against Nick Foles. Foles is who beat him in the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 52 with the Eagles coming out on top. I think Foles did not impress a lot of people last week. Tom Brady, however, has started to get the pieces together with that Tampa team since losing in week 1 against the Saints. And I think that Bucks defense isn't being talked about enough. And considering Khalil Mack and both of the safeties on the Chicago defense are listed as questionable right now in a short week, give me the Bucks. Give me the Bucks. It's going to be more than a field goal.
Yeah, so the Bucks injury list or injury report from practice the previous 2 days has me a little skeptical here, a little worried about backing them in Thursday night football. But you said something that really just ran so many thoughts through my head about how this is the quarterback matchup from Super Bowl 52. I don't think anyone, when that game was going on, would have said in 2 years we're going to be watching Bucks Bears on Thursday Night Football with these two quarterbacks. Like to think how far we've come in 2 years from that moment is
Yeah,
unbelievable.
it really is. Considering that's not even Nick Foles' first stop from the Philadelphia Eagles.
It is, that is crazy. Oh my goodness.
I think that should be an interesting game, but you are right to your point about the Bucks injury list. LaShawn McCoy, he's out. Justin Watson's out. Leonard Fournette's doubtful. That leaves Ronald Jones as one of the only viable backs, probably getting the majority of the carries for Tampa. And then you got Mike Evans, who's listed as questionable, and Scotty Miller as questionable. So it is definitely a banged up Bucks offense, but Dion Bush, the safety for Chicago that came out of Michigan, he's listed as out now. Sherrick McManus, the other safety, is now listed as doubtful. And uh, Khalil Mack was questionable on Tuesday. I'm not seeing him on here as of right now, though.
Yeah, and I mean, just adding to the Bucks, like OJ Howard's season done, Chris Godwin's hamstring. So it's just, I, I think there's no doubt they're the better team than the Bears. It just has me nervous. All these injuries, like And Nick Foles in that Super Bowl got the best of Brady, so maybe he gets the best of him on a random Thursday night and in October in 2020. Like that
Does he
seems
run the
like
Bears
anything can
special?
happen.
Does he run the Bears special?
Yeah, the Chicago special, the chili chili. uh, but I'm on a different game this weekend, Higgins. Panthers Falcons. I know a shocker, but Carolina's actually only 1.5 point dogs in this one, and really, I was kind of surprised they weren't the favorite, to be honest. But due to that, I'm a little nervous about the sides in that one, and I've just decided that the best way to play this in my mind is with the over. I think both these teams can score. I think Bridgewater and Robbie Anderson have looked great together. I think Atlanta has looked pretty strong thus far, putting up points. And over 54.5 seems definitely reasonable to me.
Yeah, when we talked about this game before the episode, I said it feels like a trap game to me. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater played well last week. Carolina Panthers might be getting it back together, but this feels like where the Falcons should get back on track. So I'm staying away on both sides of this because I could see an argument on either end. However, I feel like this really should be and needs to be where Atlanta gets a win if they want to try to still salvage this season because it's been a rough slide for them so far.
Yeah, it's been a rough go for them, but not as rough of a go as the first 11 games for Dwayne Haskins, who has been replaced by Kyle Allen this weekend, Higgins.
Yes, he is being replaced by Kyle Allen this weekend, and I think regardless of who the quarterback was, I was going to be on the Rams here. However, Kyle Allen up in Washington now, he did okay with Carolina last year. He made a few headlines when he first came in, but there's tape on him now. So I think the Rams should handle this fine. Jared Goff and that offense seem to be clicking pretty well. It'll be interesting to find out if Jalen Ramsey's able to play after his fight with Golden Tate on Sunday. But that Rams defense is looking just as good as ever with Aaron Donald man in that line. So -7 with the Rams is going to be where I'm at.
Nice. And then I'm going to find myself also on this Jaguars Texans game. The Texans made news by firing Bill O'Brien. It's being reported that J.J. Watt may have had something to do with that after there was a practice field altercation between the two of them. I just think when a coach gets fired, the team comes out and tries to play a little bit harder for the new guy and prove that, hey, it was him, it's not us, we're still talented, you want to keep us around. So Houston -6.5 at home versus Jacksonville, a division game. I think Houston gets it done in this one for Romeo Crennel.
You know, when I saw that line, I had that first same thought that you just mentioned of it's going to be the revenge game of it was Bill O'Brien, not the team around him that caused the issues. However, this also feels like where Minshew magic happens. The power of the mustache takes down Romeo Cornell's mustache because the Minshew mustache is a little bit more strong, I'd say.
Yeah, it's definitely do not want to be facing the magic mustache on the week you fire your coach, I guess. But I just think these guys will come out, they'll play a little inspired, and I think we think Houston's more talented, so maybe the talent just wins out in this one, Higgins.
That very well could be. I'm going to stay away from that game right now. I am going to be on a game I mentioned earlier in my parlay, though, the Cardinals versus the Jets, and I'm taking Cardinals -7 because, kind of like what you said, Brett, if you can't beat the Jets right now as the Cardinals, you have problems. I mean, Sam Darnold's not going to start, so it's Joe Flacco taking the snaps under center for New York. And Kyler Murray has just looked really good this year. He's had a little bit of a turnover problem with 5 interceptions, but he's playing fantastic. 4 touchdowns on the ground, 7 through the air. And I think the Cardinals are just going to come back into New York and they're going to stomp on the Jets. Maybe this is where you get to say goodbye to Gase.
Well, you may not care about my happiness, Higgins, but I care about yours. And I'm going to take the Giants your team. I'm gonna
It's a
take
dumb
them
bet.
plus
It's a
9.
dumb bet. It's a
It's a
dumb
dumb
bet.
bet. What an idiot!
Dwayne
Look at this
Haskins
guy.
got benched.
Uh,
Daniel Jones can be benched now too because now he's not the first failure of that draft class. Okay?
the Giants are gonna. I mean, I think they have a pretty decent shot to beat the Cowboys at plus 350 on the money line. But the Cowboys should not be 9.5 point favorites versus anyone. So I will take the Giants plus 9.5. And you know what? If they lose by 8, I'm still a winner. So I hope that the Giants play well for you. I hope they play well for me. And I hope they at least cover 9.5 because they should be within 9.5 of the Dallas Cowboys. I think that defense is tons of holes all over the place. The Giants have enough weapons to get enough points on the board to keep it within 10.
Yes, to your point, 9.5 is a very large spread, especially for two teams that have one win between them in a division that is 3, 12, and 1 on the season so far. And I mean, the Giants, two of the losses that they've had have been by less than 9.5 points. One of them was by 10, and then they also got blown out by the 49ers. I have no confidence in this team, though, and as a fan, I can't look at this game objectively, so I'm staying away from it.
No, I think that's fair. I will say this Jason Garrett revenge game, maybe a few extra points for that Giants offense. Maybe Jason Garrett wants to run up the score a little bit if possible. Now, I don't know if the Giants will be in a situation to actually do that. But I'm sure Jason Garrett wouldn't mind scoring a few extra point in Jerry's world.
Now, to that point, the Jason Garrett revenge game, I remember in week one when the Dallas Cowboys went and played the Rams on Monday Night Football to open up the new Los Angeles Stadium. Chris Collinsworth said that Mike McCarthy kept the same offensive terminology and language that Jason Garrett had last year and just changed up the plays, but the terminology is the same. Now, I don't know if that's going to change for right now, but there needs to. I really hope there has been someone in New York that heard them say that, and Jason Garrett's passing along that information. Garrett has a ton of nuggets about that Cowboys team after being there for so long that hopefully that knowledge can translate over into a good game plan. I am just really worried about the execution of
Well, I'm rooting for you, Higgins. Lose
it.
by less than 10. Let's go, Giants.
Now, I am rooting for the team that beat the Cowboys last week. The Browns seem like they're getting their shit together. 3-1. They have a winning record. Last week was the first time they had a winning record since 2014. And they're going off and, they're playing at home and hosting the Indianapolis Colts, who are also 3-1. Now, I think Cleveland's going to get it done, though. I mean, they showed some flair, some razzle dazzle. OBJ had a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. Jarvis Landry threw the ball. They didn't seem selfish, they were all having fun with it. It looked great. I think the Cleveland Browns at plus 105, slight underdogs at home. Give me the points, or not give me the points. Give me the plus odds.
See, this is another one. I'm confused how Indy is the favorite here, the way Cleveland's been playing, but similar to Atlanta, I guess the books are trying to tell me something. And like you said with the Atlanta game, I was afraid it's a trap. I think this one's a trap because I would have had Cleveland like -3 at home in this one if I was the bookmaker. So this screams stay away from me just because it's nowhere near where the line should be in my head. It's about 4.5 points off from where I would have it in my mind, Higgins.
Now, Odell Beckham Jr. and Kareem Hunt are listed as questionable right now. They were both limited in practice on Wednesday. Maybe that's part of
Yeah, no
why
Nick
this is
Chubb.
so. Maybe that's part of why this is so close like this. But I mean, as long as those pieces play, that offense, I think, is much better than the Indianapolis offense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge Rivers fan anyway. But it's just Cleveland's playing well. They've looked good. Indianapolis has been a little up and down. I'm not gonna get excited because they blew out the Jets. Like that's you should blow out the Jets. The Broncos blew out the Jets with Brett Ripon. So like, you have a Hall of Famer under center. I hope he could beat the Jets. So Indy's okay to me. Cleveland's been impressive. I was just surprised by the number, and that's why I'm staying away from this one. It doesn't line up with where my expectations for it were, and sometimes that's a sign you should stay away.
I agree. I understand when it's time to stay away. Listen to that gut feeling.